This is A's Cast Live, your comprehensive look at the Oakland Athletics.
And the pitch is swung on, hit the right field, hit deep. Whitefield going back at the track, over his head, and over the wall. Do you believe that?
And 29 other MLB clubs.
Ramirez with a drive to deep right, away back, gone.
Go Hayes! Gets a bomb out there by the Rocks. And boy, oh boy, this third inning is now showtime.
It is a Judgian blast. All rise. Here comes the judge.
Join us as we take you inside the baseball universe, from humidors to spin rates to game-changing moments. We have you covered. Spend your afternoon with us next from the town, only on A's Cast Live. Here's Chris Townsend.
I want you people to know that no matter what, every day, all we do is crunch the data. Every day. This is what we do. It's like we got into baseball because we love baseball, and now we're basically like computer data people. Every day we're crunching the numbers, and every day we're trying to give you the answers. Every day we're breaking down baseball, and we're trying to give you the best possible product we can right here on A's Cast Live. And we give you the best guests that there are in the business. Coming up here at 4:15, the general manager, David Forst, is going to stop by. Can't wait. Memorial Day has come and gone. The first checkpoint in baseball. Where do the A's go from here? So we'll talk to David Forst at 4:15. Our favorite Ron Washington is going to be here at 4:30. A guy that I've been asking for and I now have demanded to have on today as we talked to him in spring training. Impressed the hell out of us. And then now is impressing the you-know-what out of everybody, the way he is playing and deserving a role to play every single day for the Oakland Athletics. That's Ryan Noda. Ryan Noda has earned the right to play every single day at first base. We'll ask the general manager about that and to have the opportunity to play against righties and against lefties. The big 3-run home run last night. You've seen what he does defensively. Ryan Noda is a special talent who's going to get every opportunity. And now we're at a point where we're talking about not that it's early. You know, so much was made of it's early. What are you going to see? Well, look at the changes in this team so far this year. Big change. Uri Ruiz was not going to be a guy that was going to play every day. Well, now every single day he is going to be in the lineup and he is going to be in center field. Now Ryan Noda is going to be a guy that's going to be at first base, and he should be in there almost every single day unless you got something that you want to DH somebody and have somebody else play first. I mean, as of right now, I don't know where else you would go. I mean, I know other guys can play first base. I know Letmus Diaz could be put there. Jace Peterson could be put there. Seth Brown could be put there. But on an everyday basis, you got a first baseman who's now hitting for the power. We already knew he had the great eye. We already knew he could play defense. Now the power's coming with it, and you got an 867 OPS. Is that any good?
That's above league average, I would say, yeah.
No, anything like league average.
No, I know.
I mean, anything over 800
is good.
Is a guy that's got to play.
Yeah.
And he is now at 867, 6 home runs, 19 RBIs, the 241 average, and the walks just makes everything just explode. So Ryan Noda will be here after BP. And then on a personal note, Brad Sanfilippo, Bay Area kid, who is now the head baseball coach at San Jose State, has led my alma mater, San Jose State, to the NCAA regionals against Stanford. So it is, if you love college baseball, you love amateur baseball, you love the future of our game because so many future big leaguers will participate. It's the regionals, then they go to the super regionals, the ultimate goal to make it to Omaha, to the College World Series, and play for the national championship, which my alma mater did years ago. But you can't get to the College World Series unless you make it into the playoffs. And the playoffs for college baseball are going to start this Friday. Only one regional is out west. It's hard to believe the landscape of amateur college baseball, where this used to be something that was so big out west. When you talk about how the world is changing, the world of college sports is changing. You just look at a map of the United States, and it's something that you did, and a couple of my buddies did. They went, "Oh my God, San Jose State's got to play Stanford." Yes, Stanford's in it. So is Santa Clara. Got to give our love to the Broncos as they won the WCC. But Stanford's hosting the region. It's going to have Cal State Fullerton. They're back from the dead, and Texas A&M. It's a very strong region. A lot of people look at it and go, "Man, what's going on?" That's a tough regional. It's like, well, got to realize everything is out to the southeast. Other than Oklahoma, Oklahoma State is hosting, which is in Stillwater, Oklahoma, which that's right in the Midwest. Everything else is basically in the southeast in college baseball. Why? Because the Southeastern Conference has become such the big swing and power broker in college sports because the money is just insane. I mean, the next closest thing regional to Oklahoma City is Arkansas.
Fayetteville, right? Fayetteville,
yeah,
Arkansas.
Where's Zach Jackson? Where's Ryan Stanek, the opener for the Astros? Everything else is Vanderbilt, Alabama, Auburn, Florida.
Is it Wake Forest hosting?
Miami, which is as southeast as you can get.
Yeah.
Wake Forest, Clemson. I mean, it's all in the southeast, and that's also ACC country when you're talking about Clemson and Wake Forest. But man, back when dinosaurs like me played college baseball, so much was out west. Arizona, either A-State or Arizona would have one. USC or UCLA would have a region. I mean, now you've got on the West Coast. You think of all the great players, all the guys who are drafted in the first round, all the guys in amateur baseball. No one has more Division I baseball teams than California, and we got one region, and Stanford and San Jose State are in it. It's crazy.
Yeah, Santa Clara is going to play at Fayetteville, Arkansas. And I saw this earlier. This has to do with Louisiana, but Tulane got in the regionals with a 19-40 record because they won their conference.
But
I mean, that's incredible.
LSU is also one of the sites, speaking of SEC. So the SEC and ACC are dominant. You may say, I don't care about college baseball. I get it, but I do. I love it. And who's the host of the show?
You.
So we will be talking San Jose State and the head coach of San Jose State at 5:30, Brad Sanfilippo, who, by the way, former teammate of mine. When I was at San Jose State, Major League Baseball, because obviously in Southern California, there's so many players and guys that would come home from colleges, that Major League Baseball sponsored a wood bat league. And so a lot of us would go back to Southern California, and there were guys who never left Southern California. So this was such a dominant wood bat league that it was all guys who were from Southern California. And it's basically all these teams are just loaded with Division I guys, right? I mean, it was just these teams were stacked. So you're playing against guys who are playing all over the country for top programs. But the coaches, some of the coaches were junior college coaches. They were allowed to have a couple of their players. So our head coach, I played on the Mesa College Royals. Every guy we got, I think other than me, was going to get drafted. My buddy Chris Nelson, who was a former A's draft pick, was a pitcher at Oklahoma State. He and I dominated, and one of the years we won the league. But everybody you're playing against, I mean, scouts are everywhere. I mean, these are summer league games. These are essentially college summer league, wood bat league in San Diego. And scouts are everywhere at these games. So, radar guns. I mean, because you had guys that are going to be first-round draft picks are playing this thing.
So is this the West Coast equivalent of the Cape Cod League?
Yeah. So you had the Cape, and you had the Alaskan League, you had Cape Cod League. Then you had all these different leagues, and then a lot of us summertime you want to go back home.
Alaskan League. That's interesting. I mean, the summer, it makes sense in the summer, but
it never gets dark.
Yeah.
The last for years. Now, things may have changed. I don't know. That was a long time ago, but the Cape was always big, but Alaska was huge also. You were talking about premier players playing in that. So Brad was a freshman at Mesa College and was on our team. So that's how I got to know him. And he's now the head coach of San Jose State. So we will have him on. By the way,
I met him at a tailgate at San Jose State football game.
That's correct.
I forget what game it was. As a proud San
Another
Jose,
win.
as a proud season ticket holder, I forget which game it was.
By the way, could we have San Jose State win the College World Series and then later on in late August?
Oh, I know where you're going.
Week 0. It's week 0. These Braves people. See that kid mad dogging me in that Braves uniform? I wasn't going to let him mad dog me. Now, if you're listening at athletics.com/acecast, you heard silence because this little kid just walked by me in a Brave jersey, and he's looking at me. I'm mad dogged him. Did you see that? I mad dogged him the whole way. You don't step on our turf. How old do you think that kid was?
I don't know, 10.
You see the look in his eyes?
I don't know. Last time we were out here, a youngster in high school saved your life. So
Yeah, but he was an A's fan. That's a Braves fan.
Yeah, true.
I tell you right now, I want that kid to know that you step on this field with fear. Where was I go? Oh, if the A's win today, guess what?
It's 2 in a row.
And what is that?
I guess that's a loose definition of a winning streak.
Last time the A's won 2 in a row, I'm glad someone brought it up because if you would have asked me, honestly, if I would have asked our crew over here, if I would have asked anybody, when's the last time we won 2 in a row, would anybody have known? Without looking at the schedule.
I think it wasn't against the Royals, like right around there, right? So was it the Royals? Is that around there? Anyone? We have a whole research, and I'm the one that's figuring this out. I mean, I know I'm the leader of the research crew, but I think it's the Royals right around there.
It was the Royals.
Yeah, thank you.
If I would have said May 5th and 6th, would you have gotten that?
No.
I
believe the Royals are looking for their first 3-game winning streak of the year.
Hey, it's got to start somewhere, right? It's got to start somewhere, and this is why what's going to happen here with David Forst is real interesting because you're like, Townsend, what are you going to get at? Well, I'm going to tell you what I'm going to get at. Everybody tells you in baseball, whether I agree with it or not, hey, remember, I have no control. I am not a front office person. Even though my badge, swear to God, you're not going to believe this, it says front office. Maybe I'm going to use that against David. Since I am part of your front office, that's what it says. It says Chris Townsend front office. Doesn't it?
Yeah, it does. I have the same one.
I want to know. They say Memorial Day is the first checkpoint. But really what Memorial Day is, I'm going to watch my team. Back in the day, it was less games. Now, I'm basically going to watch my team for 2 months, and let's just see. You're going to have injuries. You're going to have, you're going to start making decisions. Okay. Now you got 2 months till what?
Trade deadline. All-Star break.
Trade deadline.
Both. They're both in. Well, actually, also the trade deadline's in August now.
August 1st.
Yeah.
So you got basically 2 months.
Yeah.
All-Star game, we have the draft.
Oh, that's true.
And we have time off. And I'm going to be going on vacation.
And guess where I'm going? To Seattle, where the All-Star game is.
Why?
That's where my friends wanted to go on a guys trip to. And then I realized, wait, that's where the All-Star game is.
You're going on a guys trip to the Pacific Northwest?
They wanted to go there, Mike. I don't know. That's where they wanted to go. And of course, I had to get I had to get us home run derby tickets.
Seattle's a place you take your wife.
Been there with my wife.
Why are you going to go to Seattle with a bunch of guys?
And I'm the only married one. So
why would they want to go to Seattle?
I don't know. We did San Diego last year. Not at the All-Star break.
That makes sense. Yeah. Beach, a lot of fun.
My friend's flying from the East Coast
to go to Seattle.
To Seattle, yeah.
I hope it rains on you guys the whole time.
Probably
That's
will.
The dumbest. Out of all the places you could go party, All-Star game, I should say All-Star break summer, out of all the places you could go, you're going to go to Seattle where it's going to be overcast and rainy?
I got lucky when I went a couple years ago. It was nice 3 of the 4 days we were there, where you could actually see Mount Rainier, which you never get to see.
Ooh, because that's what I think on a guy's trip. Let's go see Mount Rainier.
Yeah. My buddy goes, hey, so my brother's going to want to wake up early and go hiking. I'm like, are you out of your mind? Why would I get up? Oh, my
God. I'm going to ask David Forst. Yeah, this is a man that makes decisions. That's what we're starting with David Forst.
What, where he go on a guy's trip?
Is this the worst idea of all time?
Well, don't worry. I have to go I'm going to the home run derby too. So we're supposed to take a week away from baseball or a few days away from baseball. No, I'll be right front and center.
By the way, I did that. It was what year was the All-Star game in San Diego?
Oh,
it was years ago.
Yeah, I did it last year in Dodger Stadium.
So I always go back to San Diego on vacation for the All-Star game, for the All-Star break, and my family wanted to go, and I remember going to the All-Star game going, why am I here? I do everything I can to get away from baseball. and I'm at the All-Star game. Well, we always talk about we want to bring the smartest people in baseball on A's Cast Live. We welcome Dr. David Forst back to the program. Doctor, how are you?
You need to reach higher if that's what you're looking for.
All right, so Cody has just informed us that he and his buddies during the All-Star break are doing a guys trip. This is not wives, kids. This is guys trip to Seattle.
Beautiful city.
During the All-Star break, but they're not going to the game. A guys trip to Seattle in the summer.
What's the problem?
Where it's rainy and overcast.
Golf and sailing. And
will you be playing sailing?
I'm the only one that doesn't golf, so I will not be golfing.
So somebody's talking about going hiking?
Yeah, my friend's brother's like, hey, we're going to get up at like 5 a.m. and go hiking. I'm like, are you out of your mind?
It sounds fantastic. I'd love to take a 4-day guys trip to Seattle in the middle of the season.
But maybe I'm wrong. I'm thinking beach, Huntington Beach, San Diego. They went to San Diego last year.
Okay.
But now they're going to.
Are these the questions I was brought here to answer, Chris?
You want the truth? You want? All right.
What's up?
All right, here we go.
Yeah.
So the first 2 months, we get to Memorial Day. It's the checkpoint, right?
Great.
Now we spend the next 2 months trying to figure out where to go from there.
Yeah.
Do you subscribe to that?
Yeah, I've always believed that. Yeah, I mean, I think as long as I've been here, we've said first 2 months, what do you got? Next 2 months, do what you can. Last 2 months, sit back and watch.
So for these next 2 months, what do you think you're looking at for this roster? How do you see it?
Well, this is not a typical year. Obviously, we've already tinkered quite a bit, and we've made moves in the bullpen. We've brought guys up. We, obviously designated Aggie the other day. So it's not necessarily a typical year where I would say we haven't done anything to this point. We're always looking to get healthier. I know Freddie Tarnock and Kirby Snead were out here earlier today throwing to hitters, so that's a good sign. I think we're going to continue to try and, bring in productive players, whether that's from the outside, whether that's moving guys up from AAA. I mean, Jonah Bride had a fantastic month of May in AAA, deserved a promotion, came up here and got 2 knocks last night. Like, those are the signs of progress we want to keep seeing.
How important is it when you have a guy that's hot? Like Jonah Bride was 4 for 4 the day before.
Yeah.
When you brought him up last night, his first 2 at-bats, 2 hits. So he's 6 for his last 6. If a guy's hot, how important is it? Get the guy hot who's here and let him play right away.
Yeah, I don't know that he necessarily has to have 4 hits like the preceding night. But I think it's really important from a confidence standpoint for a guy to be swinging the bat well or throwing the ball well. I think Hogan Harris will tell you that when we brought him here the first time, he wasn't pitching all that well in AAA. We brought him here because we needed a long guy. We were sort of short in the bullpen, but he wasn't throwing the ball that well. He just was on the roster, and he'll tell you went into that first game without a hell of a lot of confidence. When we brought him up last weekend, he's coming off 3 really good starts and felt good about the way he was throwing the baseball. So I think it makes a lot of difference.
So when you start thinking about the young players, at some point they will be here. We know the certain guys, they're going to, as I like to say, force everybody's hand and get their way here. With the way the season, does the record, the way the season going, dictate that at all, whether you're going to bring somebody up or not?
I mean, it has to. I'd be lying if I said how this team was playing didn't affect the decisions we made as far as bringing players up and down. Because there are years, obviously, where, every single win is critical and that has to drive your decisions. There are years where every single win is not as sort of desperate a situation. So you have a little more flexibility in what you do.
And you got some good guys in AA. Could we finally see? We haven't seen in a while. Could we see a guy from AA? Because there's some names out there.
Yeah, we've talked about it. I know what you're going to ask. This guy comes straight here from the big leagues. I can't think of anyone since like Danny Putnam, but maybe there's someone more recent than that.
It's been a long time.
Came straight from AA. Yeah, we've definitely talked about it. And the guys who are performing there, there's been a lot of talk about Brett Harris. Lawrence Butler's doing great. Denzel got off to a really good start. Darryl Hernandez is hitting 350. So we've definitely talked about it, partly because of, the environment in Vegas has made it very difficult for guys to make the adjustments. And obviously the way the ball flies there, what you can get away with as a hitter doesn't always translate here. So that's part of the reason, but also because there's a lot of guys performing really well there.
How tough is it when you put a group together like this group, veteran guys, As you mentioned, Aggie was DFA'd, and we could see more of that.
Yeah.
I mean, you had a plan. Let's just say the plan hasn't worked that you had that you thought you were going to start the season
That's
with.
fair.
Right? Their guys get hurt. I thought, Blackburn looked great yesterday, but you thought Blackburn would be here at the start.
Right.
You thought Ruzinski would be here at the start, but he had a bad hamstring. So, how tough is that now when you really start? Because you're greatly affecting people's lives and careers. It's a tough situation.
Yeah, but that's what we do. We put the team together, and then you have a plan B and a plan C, and not all of them work out. Occasionally you get to plan H because you just have to sort of scramble and make moves on the fly. Lucas Ursig was not on our radar a month ago. I didn't know we'd need a bullpen arm, and then sort of came available, and I'm glad we went out and grabbed him. He pitched great last night, and he's going to have ups and downs, but he looks like a really solid major league bullpen piece. Lovelady the same way. You have to have plans, and then you have to adjust, and that's just part of the game. Some years it goes better than others.
Yeah, and so much of it, because you don't really have to worry about I'm letting a guy go and he's got $50 million left on his contract. You're not dealing with that situation, but you do have some veteran guys you're going to have to make some decisions on.
And it's never easy. Kotz will tell you that the better days are when you don't have to send anybody out, or you don't have to make those decisions. It's the least favorite part of what he does. I know that. But yeah, those are you are responsible to the 26 guys in the clubhouse, the guys in the coach's room, the manager. There are times when you have to have difficult conversations, and Aggie's one of those.
When you start thinking about certain players, I think about Ruiz in center, and now, we love Noda. We talk about him a lot. We've liked him since spring training. We were getting him on the program today. How much does a guy like Noda playing where he's got to play every single – to me, it seems like he needs to play every single day. He's proven at least giving him the chance and the right. How much does that affect the way you do your decisions with the lineup and overall the roster?
Yeah, that was obviously a factor in the decision to designate Jesus. Noda's proven over the first 2 months, like you said, that he should be in there as much as possible. He's not going to play against every lefty because there are days to match up. But that's a case of a plan that went right. We took him in the Rule 5 draft because we thought he could do this. So far he's lived up to our expectations. And yes, that affects the other guys on the roster. Aggie was going to get more first base time. That's not in the cards right now.
So when you look going forward here and start talking about some of the veteran guys in trades, because trades just don't happen overnight, right? These are phone calls that you've had and said, hey, maybe I'll be looking for this. You're looking for that. There's a lot that goes into trade. I think a lot of people think that you just call somebody up out of the blue and go, hey, Milwaukee, let's do this. So how much have you been talking about some of your veteran players that potentially could be moving on and help somebody else?
Yeah, it's about that time. You keep mentioning these phone calls. I can just text people, right?
Yeah, that's right.
That's what we're doing.
Well, yeah, I know you got a phone with a cord, and you gotta do a rotary phone. Look it up, kids.
Yeah, those conversations are starting. We've talked for a couple of years now how the draft and the timing of it sort of affects that process. And, a lot of guys are heading out this weekend to see the regionals, continue to scout. Then there's the combine in Arizona coming up in a few weeks, and then your draft meeting. So you got to sort of work through all that to have those conversations. Luckily, you can text. It takes me about 30 seconds to shoot something off and say, hey, Leon, let me know what you're looking for. I don't know where we're going to be come mid-July as far as this team is concerned, and who's going to be available, what we're going to be looking for. But you got to start having those conversations now.
It would be funny watching you walk up. Where's the cordless phone? Where's my cordless phone? Like we used to. I think of somebody like Seth Brown. I know how much he means to the organization, and I know there's going to be people, and I hear it on my show all the time where people say, "You got to trade this guy." You can't trade everybody because I believe, and I want to get your opinion on it, that you need a veteran guy still to be here with the kids.
Yeah.
Somebody's got to be the adult in the room, as they like to say.
Yeah.
And I know you don't want to comment on all the players, but let's just say from a pitching standpoint and a position player standpoint, how important is it to have at least a veteran there to help lead the guys?
I think we're like living proof that you need those guys. Like this team that started the year with 5 rookies in the rotation. How much more stable did we look just yesterday with Paul Blackburn starting the game?
Yeah.
It made a huge difference in optics and obviously in results too. So I don't think there's any doubt that you need you need that experience, whether it's not only the clubhouse, you need it on the field. You need guys who've been here before and done it before. So yeah, you can't just trade everybody. And look, we want to get to the point where we're keeping guys. That's the whole point of doing this.
I do think you're close, though. I think you do have some young players.
Yeah,
we talk about Noda and Ruiz, and I like Pladea.
I appreciate your enthusiasm, and I know we see it on TV every night.
I got to sell it every day.
I love it. No, and no one appreciates it like you do. But yeah, we need more. We need more players.
Yeah.
We need more of these guys to step up and kind of do what we think they're capable of.
Well, to me, it's like we've seen like what you guys did in 12. Some of it maybe 18, 19, where you get a lot of different players from a lot of different places. But you always don't you always strive for a group and to grow a group?
For sure.
And do you feel like you have those seeds, like you water those seeds, they grow, have a group grow together? Do you feel with what we've seen, what we're hearing about in Vegas, what we're hearing about in Midland, that you may have that group to grow around?
I hope so. Yeah, I really do. I mean, 12 and 18 are fun years to think about, but they're also stressful because you don't quite know what you have yet. I prefer 13, 14, and 19, 20 because then we really knew the group we had and we added to it and we sort of complemented those guys. I mean, that's where you want to be. Like 12 and 18 kind of happened because everything went right and then we could build on it. You obviously need those years to happen before you can start some like consistent success. But yeah, that's, if we're on the sort of doorstep of that, we all want it to come quicker.
You mentioned the regionals coming around. Brad Sanfilippo, the head coach of my San Jose State Spartans, won the Mountain West.
San Jose State.
Going to be taking on Stanford on Friday, and congratulations, Santa Clara's. They won the WCC. It's so fascinating that the only regional out west is Stanford. They're all in the Southeast. Think about in your time. I mean, back when I was playing, I'm a little older than you, everything was out west.
Yeah.
Now everything's in the Southeast. Is it just crazy the way amateur baseball has changed?
College baseball has gone that way now for a decade. I mean, the SEC is dominating the programs, in the ACC and out east. You look at the facilities they have and everything, it's not a surprise. I mean, it's great that Stanford still can host a regional, keep something out here. And, I don't want to take away from Oregon State and some of the other schools, but Stanford's sort of been the one and everyone else has to go travel.
And I got to think, watching these players, you like to see them in this environment before you draft them.
Yeah, I mean, high school guys you want to see in the showcases, college guys you want to see against the best, and sort of high pressure. We saw conference tournaments last week. We'll see regionals this week.
All right, it's going to be a fun summer. Thank you for stopping by. We'll talk soon.
All right, I'll see you.
David Forst, the general manager of your Oakland Athletics. Ron Washington will join us next right here on A's Cast Live.
This is Chris Townsend. There are two things that are a must for me: comfort and style. Whether I'm playing golf, going to dinner, I've got to have the right feel. That's why I've partnered with Linksole, and you're going to love Linksole. They have just released their new spring line, new fabrics for their polos, lightweight and perfect for technical performance. Linksole also has new styles for their layers and hoodies with cool prints and seasonal colors. You know what they say in the big leagues: look good, play good. Go to linksole.com. That's linksole.com.
Chevron with Techron has unbeatable engine cleaning power, and it gives you unbeatable mileage for all kinds of unbeatable destinations, like time in the sun at the beach, or time in the sun riding roller coasters, or a day in the sun hiking mountains. Well, probably just one mountain would be enough for a day, but hiking a mountain is still an unbeatable choice for how to spend time. Download the Chevron app now to get unbeatable mileage at locations near you.
Streaming from the town, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
Well, when you think all-time great Oakland Athletics coaches, you think this guy right here. It is so great to have you back here in Oakland.
It's great to be back.
And it's great to always have you on this show. You know how much you mean to our fan base.
Well, I tell you what, they mean the same to me.
And you mean so much. The rumor's out that you're going to be a part of fantasy camp coming up.
Yes, I am, and I'm looking forward to it.
I think you showing up to fantasy camp for A's fans, being the chance for A's fans to be coached by you would be a thrill and an honor.
Well, it's going to be a thrill and an honor for me, and I'm just looking forward to the fun, because that's what we're going to have, fun.
Oh, it's going to be. I mean, you think Dave Stewart, Dallas Braden, Shooty Babbitt, you can't beat that.
Can't beat that. And don't forget Ron Washington.
When you come back here and you step on the field, what were the feelings?
Well, the feelings are 17 years. All I hear is complaints about the stadium, but people don't know unless they've been here. This is a beautiful place to play. You would like a better stadium, but you can't ask for a better field.
The work environment's incredible.
It's incredible. And the people that take care of it are incredible and been incredible for a long time. So I enjoy it when I come back. I really do. I enjoy seeing the fans. And, they make a lot of noise. And I want them to understand they got a young group. And that young group is going to grow to be something special one day.
We've been talking about the young group, and I've been talking about growing together. And people ask about coaching. I said, you know what? No matter what age group we're talking about, coaches make players better. They make them better on the field, and they make them better off the field. Just how important is coaching for young players when they're coming up to learn how to be professionals at this level?
Well, it's more than being a professional. It's learning the game and respecting the game and knowing who blazed the trail before you got here. That's another thing. Knowing who gave themselves as bait for you to be here and have this opportunity. You got baseball at the top, baseball, and there's so much underneath that has to be gotten to understand this game. And I think when you talk about coaches, they're the perfect example of what it takes to grow people and turn them into men, turn them into fathers, that type of stuff. They got it all. It's at their hands, especially when you got a young group. When you got a young group, you're able to sit there and mold. You're able to explain how the game is supposed to be played, how you go about playing it, how you deal with adversity, because there is a lot of adversity in this game. And majority of the times, those coaches have been where you're trying to go.
No doubt about it. And so much as it's the work of the pupil. Already today, folks, I can tell you, as we're getting ready up in our box, we're looking down, and Wash is down here working with his infielders. This is right. When we came on today at 4:00, you were working with these guys at 3:00. So game's not till 6:40. Wash has them out here working on the drills. You got your different infield gloves that you work with these guys with. Just talk about it to be great, to be good, to be successful and have a career at this level, the amount of work you got to put in every single day.
You have to have tremendous work ethic, and you have to wake up in the morning for the 7, 8, or 9 months that you're going to be playing this game, because everyone has a vision that when they start in spring training, they want to be in the World Series. So that means you're going to be playing for 7 to 8 months. And you got to have that vision, and you got to work toward that vision. And that means you got to find a way to get it done every single day. And sometimes when you're not feeling very good, you can find out a lot about yourself if you can make it through that day and be successful. So, those are the type of things, and that's work ethic. You definitely have to have work ethic. And I remember my first year when I came here to Atlanta, we was out in the heat working, and one of the former coaches came up to me and said, "Wash, don't you think you're working these guys too hard?" I say, "Well, let me tell you something. What I do, once you get it, is 4 minutes. They hit every single day in the cage. I found a way to make them work every single day on defense."
Yeah, because you know what? As Ray Fosse always told us, out here, Oakland, pitching and defense, that's what wins the championships. It's pitching and defense. But defense, you have to make the little things a habit every day. It has to be something that I don't need to ask you. You just know that every day we're working on this because it's a habit. It's every single day.
Well, you just said a word, the little things. In the game of baseball, it's about the little things. To call those little things details. You handle every detail. And if you handle every detail, success is right around the corner. It's about the details. It is the little things. The big picture is always there. But when things start to fade in that big picture, you got to be able to see them right away. And if you're not taking care of details, you never see the things that start slumps. You never see the things that might start a pitcher from not being able to find the strike zone anymore. You never know what might cause an infielder all of a sudden his rhythm is off. You might not know what causes a hitter to not make solid contact. It's the details. And when they go a little bit, that's when you jump on them. You don't let them fall down and try to build it back up. You catch them as they fade. Yeah. That's work ethic. That's work ethic. That's work ethic. Because when you got work ethic, you don't miss anything.
I talk about every day on the show. Little good things lead to big good things. Little bad things lead to really bad things. I know you got to go. Let's end on this. You already got a World Series ring with this team. Your group is so young, so talented. What do you see in this Atlanta Braves team?
Well, I see big possibilities. But the thing is, we got to take care of business. And, we having a rough May. But even though we having a rough May, everybody else is having a rough May too. So hopefully June is better. But that group over there, they never take one day into the next. And I've been there 7 years, and for 7 years, that's what I've seen. They've never take a bad day into the next day. They always come fresh, because I always let them know, if you happy with what you did yesterday, you did thing today.
That is a great skill, by the way, to be able to let the past, especially the recent past, like yesterday's game, to let that go and only focus on today, because a lot of people can't do that.
That's where work ethic come in. We show up at the ballpark and we go about our business, getting ready. We learned from yesterday what we should do today to try to prevent that from happening. But on any given day, any team can get beat. And it's not the best team that wins. It's always the team that played the best on that day. So we got to come back here today and play better than Oakland. If we don't, we're going to get beat again.
Well, it is always an honor to have you on the show, whether it's just by phone sometimes, like during the playoffs, because you do mean so much to so many people around here. I mean, whether it's just people who've been in security, have known you for so many years, people working in the stadium, the fans, A's employees, not many people have a relationship with an organization and community like you do. And that's something really special. And that's why it's an honor to always have you on.
Well, I just want to say before I leave, when I left here and went to Texas, exactly what you said, I brought to Texas. And everybody that's a part of the Oakland A's, no matter what capacity they're in, they family. And the same thing happened when I went to Texas. But I brought that from here, the camaraderie, the love that I got here. I remember when I got the job in Texas, Eric Chavez, when he hugged me when I got the job, he said, "Don't change." And I went there, and guess what? They tried to change me, but it didn't work. And that's what you have to do. You got to be who you are, and that's who I am all the time. And that's who these fans has always been to me. They've never, ever judged me.
And that's why you go to fantasy camp, because you'll get more than just like 5 minutes of this. You'll get him. He can coach you. You can hang with him after fantasy camp. We're going to be there. They're trying to talk me into playing. We'll see if that happens. We can get my old body going again. But it is always it's always great to have you on. Can't wait to see you at fantasy camp. But we're going to talk to you again later this year during the season.
No doubt.
But good luck to you guys.
Thank you.
Thanks for coming over.
You bet. Thanks for having me.
He's an all-time legend right here in Oakland.
With more sunshine returning, it's time to get outside and make the most of what Cinnabar Hills Golf Club has to offer, like 27 championship caliber holes tucked in the beautiful hills of San Jose. And take advantage of their amazing Bay Area views for your next special event. It's all for you at Cinnabar Hills Golf Club, an award-winning venue designed to peacefully take you away from the bustle of Silicon Valley. Go to CinnabarHills.com. That's CinnabarHills.com.
This is Chris Townsend. There are two things that are a must for me: comfort and style. Whether I'm playing golf, going to dinner, I've got to have the right feel. That's why I've partnered with Linksole, and you're going to love Linksole. They have just released their new spring line, new fabrics for their polos, lightweight and perfect for technical performance. Linksole also has new styles for their layers and hoodies with cool prints and seasonal colors. You know what they say in the big leagues: look good, play good. Go to linksole.com. That's linksole.com.
If you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see our friends at the Chicken Pie Shop of Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try their world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
Chevron with Techron has unbeatable engine cleaning power, and it gives you unbeatable mileage for all kinds of unbeatable destinations, like time in the sun at the beach or time in the sun riding roller coasters. Or a day in the sun hiking mountains. Well, probably just one mountain would be enough for a day, but hiking a mountain is still an unbeatable choice for how to spend time. Download the Chevron app now to get unbeatable mileage at locations near you.
And the underdogs Oakland Athletics win their first championship since they were in Philadelphia in 1930.
Hi, I'm Raleigh Fingers, Hall of Famer, three-time World Series champion with the Oakland A's and World Series MVP. Winning takes teamwork, skill, and heart. So when you need an ace for a personal injury lawyer that will win you the game, go with the winning team. Call Venardi Zerata at 833-VZ for me, or go to vzlawfirm.com. Venardi Serrata, the official injury law firm of the Oakland A's.
Streaming from the East Bay, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
I can tell you spring training. We interview all the players. One player stood out, and I'll never forget, we were off the air, you didn't hear it, and we were talking about his defense, and he says, I can win a Gold Glove. And you're like, that's the kind of confidence you need to have. And we talked about what you have to do as a Rule 5 draft pick. There's the belief system that you have to have. And everything he said at spring training to us at Ho-Ho Cam, he is backed up. And it's this guy, Ryan Noda. You backed up everything you said down in Arizona. And I got to tell you, I'm so happy for you and your start. It's been fantastic.
Thank you. Appreciate it. I don't know if you can hear me right now, but
Here, just put it up with the
hello.
There you go.
Okay, perfect. Sorry about that. Little malfunction. I'm glad to be back on here. I'm just working hard, man. Like I said in spring to you, either on air or off air, but sometimes it just takes some time, just get a little comfortable. New scenery, new staff, but I'm finally starting to feel a little bit comfortable here, and it's been nice, and hopefully we can build off yesterday and continue to put some wins together and start a little streak here. So
we talked about the fit. You needed a new fit as much as you, and I think being in the Dodgers system was great for you because you learned so much. They have a terrific system, but you needed a good fit. You got that right fit. Just talk about, and I, we can, the record stuff, we understand that, but just talking about you finally getting your chance, just talk about what the fit Oakland has been for you.
It's been nice. A lot of people in this game, when I've been in the minors, just needed that chance with another team. And, I was fortunate enough to get my name called in the Rule 5 draft and, to be here and to be with this great group of guys and staff and, media and everything, and everyone's made it pretty easy for me to be comfortable. And, a lot of guys pulling for each other, sticking, always having the same goal. We always want to win every day. And that's my main goal every time I'm playing any sport, any game, no matter what. So you can ask my family.
You're coming out no matter what to win.
Yeah, definitely. 100%. So, it's definitely been great. I couldn't ask for something, better. Get an opportunity. That's all I ever wanted. And, hopefully I can keep taking strides and, just every day get 1% better and just continue to grow, man.
Talking about opportunity, you have shown, just not the A's, I guarantee, my friend, you've shown 29 other teams that you can play. I talk a lot about it in the postgame show of how you've shown yourself defensively. We knew everything in front of you. You were going to vacuum up. I've been so impressed with the way that you're able to go back on fly balls to where you've gotten all the way down to the other team's bullpen. I haven't seen anybody do that since Matt Olson did that, and not a lot of people before Matt Olson did that. So you've shown your athletic ability. You've shown your ability to run. The patience has been so huge for you at the plate, but lately it seems like you've been a little bit more aggressive. Is that just you getting a little more comfortable?
It's a mix of both. I think people, started just trying to get ahead. And so once I started learning that, I was like, all right, now it's time to be aggressive until they don't anymore. So I'm just going off of what people, throw me and how they're pitching our team and just kind of building off that. And if they give me a strike early, I'm going to swing, and lately it's been working out pretty well. I'm just going to keep sticking to my approach. And I'm patient, but also aggressive when I need to be. So as long as I can keep doing that and, keep getting on base, keep trying to produce for the team, and I think more wins will come with that.
You've kind of lured them in then, what you're saying. It's like you're getting a lot of 2-0 counts. Now they don't want to be 2-0 count. If they want to sneak one early, it's time to ambush.
Yeah, so it's just being aggressive, right? I go up there to hit. I'm here to hit. But if they don't throw me a strike, then I'll just take my base. A walk's just like a single. So for me, the amount of walks I have, I just basically call them singles. So I'm I think right now we're at about, I don't even know, but I'm just trying to get.
What do you want to know? I can tell you.
No, I don't really want to know anything at this point. But
your on base is really good. Let's just say that.
And I just, I'm just trying to, get on base for the guys behind me.
Well, how about patience? Because to me, you see about five pitches per at bat. And speaking of on base, your on base is absolutely fantastic. But the thing is with Ruiz, who's now becoming a hit stealing bases.
Oh, yeah.
How important is it for you when you're going up hitting in the 2-hole, knowing that you got to take some pitches? If he's out on first, you got to let him do what he's going to do.
Oh, yeah, and I love it. I would rather hit with him on second or third than on first. Makes my job a lot easier, especially with no outs. If he's on second, I just got to hit some on the right side, get him over to third for the big dogs behind me. So makes it a lot easier, makes it a little bit more comfortable, and he's, running the bases like a wild man like he does. And I love it. I'll take a pitch down the middle. I have before, and I'll do it again. As long as he can get that bag and, get in scoring position for us to have a chance to, especially in the first inning, to get, a lead. It's huge, get our pitchers, some runs early is big time. Relaxes them, doesn't force them to have too many pressure pitches. And, I think him hitting in front of me is awesome. I love it.
Yeah, he immediately is in scoring position for you.
Yeah.
I mean, who doesn't want that as a hitter?
Exactly. So, and I played against him a lot throughout the minor leagues, and I've always said, man, I want this guy on my team. Yeah. And now we always joke around. I'm like, Ruiz, we're finally on the same team, and I love it. He goes, me too. So it's been nice, and we're building a lot of chemistry together, and which is good. And he knows that if he gets a good jump, I'm gonna let him take it. So it's gonna be a fun 1-2 punch hopefully here. So
well, I can tell you whether it's this show or it's after the game on the post-game show with all the A's callers, your name's coming up a lot, and people are really enjoying watching you grow as a player. They're glad you're here at 27 years old. This is the start of your prime, and you're in the right spot at the right time. It's funny how life works, but you're where you need to be, and it's a lot of fun to watch you grow. So 2/3 of the season left. Just continue to do it, and let's just sit back and enjoy.
Heck yeah.
Take care, my friend. Good luck to you.
Thanks for having me.
We got more coming next right here on A's Cast Live.
This is Chris Townsend. There are two things that are a must for me: comfort and style. Whether I'm playing golf, going to dinner, I've got to have the right feel. That's why I've partnered with Linksole, and you're going to love Linksole. They have just released their new spring line, new fabrics for their polos, lightweight and perfect for technical performance. Linksole also has new styles for their layers and hoodies with cool prints and seasonal colors. You know what they say in the big leagues: look good, play good. Go to linksole.com. That's linksole.com.
Unbeatable mileage from Chevron with Techron unlocks all kinds of unbeatable trips. Like to family dinner the next town over, or to a family wedding the next town over, or even to a family reunion over the river and through the woods at Grandma's house. Any drive is worth it to see Grandma, especially when you can stop along the way for unbeatable cleaning power from Chevron with Techron. Your engine will be thanking you for making the trip. Download the Chevron app now and find unbeatable mileage near you.
This is Chris Townsend, and if you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see my friends at the Chicken Pie Shop at Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try their world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
Hey, Billy, this deck is great for getting everyone together. Thanks. We're really enjoying the outdoor space, especially on a day like today. What's the material? Humboldt redwood from Ashby Lumber. They gave us a great deal, provided us with a quick quote, and we couldn't be happier. We even found a great contractor through their online contractor directory.
Don't miss a day outdoors. Visit Ashby Lumber in Berkeley or Concord to see our stock of naturally strong, naturally beautiful Humboldt redwood. Find out more at ashbylumber.com for all your building needs. Ashby Lumber.
Baseball season is officially here, and there's no better time to build your collection of Topps trading cards. Topps packs feature everything from top stars, rookies, game-used memorabilia, and autographs from players around the league, as well as special inserts and surprises. Visit your local hobby shop, retailers, and Topps.com to collect the first product of the season, Topps Series 1 Baseball. Follow @Topps on social media to join the conversation and start sharing your collection today.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
Thanks to the Xfinity 10G network, my little brother's friends won't leave our house. When I was their age, internet with basically no interruptions was a pipe dream.
You sound like my grandpa.
Now through April 23rd, new customers can get 200 megabit Xfinity internet during our limited time Xfinity 10G network launch celebration for just $25 a month for 2 years. Go to Xfinity.com/10G, call 1-800-XFINITY, or visit a store today. Requires paperless billing and autopay with stored bank account. Restrictions apply. Taxes and fees extra. After promo, regular rates apply to internet service and devices. Actual speeds vary.
Innovation is at the core of Cal State East Bay, like at our Green Biome Institute, where faculty and students preserve genetic information from California's endangered plants, or how we open doors for local entrepreneurs at our Small Business Development Center. From educators to nurses to STEM professionals, Cal State East Bay has real impact throughout the region's neighborhoods, boardrooms, and the entire economy. Be part of the innovation. Connect with Cal State East Bay at csueastbay.edu/impact.
Calling all kids. It's Kids Cheer Free all summer long. Bring your kids ages 14 and under to the ballpark on Sunday home games for free. After cheering on your green and gold, race around the bases with Stomper on the same field that your favorite A's players do. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/kidsfree. That's athletics.com/kidsfree.
We are right in the middle of major season on the PGA Tour. Hey, those guys are good, but it won't stop you from having a great golf outing at Cinnabar Hills Golf Club. Just a short drive south of fast-paced Silicon Valley, the 27 holes of championship golf will give you and your friends a full day of enjoyment. Plus, a great 19th hole experience awaits at the grill. Not only golf, but Cinnabar Hills is ready to provide a first-class experience for any event. Learn more at cinnabarhills.com, cinnabarhills.com.
Looking to stay up to date on all things A's? Head over to athletics.com/A'scast. That's athletics.com/A'scast to listen to A's baseball in full 24/7 coverage of the A's, only on A's Cast. With a single click, you can stream great shows, live, pre- and post-game coverage, and of course, all the great action of the A's this season. Head to athletics.com/A'scast today.
A's fans, there is no better way to stay in touch with the A's and even our players than following us on social media. Just head over to athletics.com/social. That's athletics.com/social for a full list of our social coverage, from player accounts to Twitter handles and more. Now is the time to stay in touch. Head over to athletics.com/social. That's athletics.com/social today.
Streaming from the A's Road studio, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
All right, we were just in a discussion that I know a lot of you probably aren't going to care about, but if you're a baseball fan, it's an interesting discussion. Talking about, well, there's multiple things that were said today on a program that I really, really like, MLB Now. And one of them was, and I didn't get to see this part yet. What I like to do driving up is I put my AirPods in and I put the show on, and I just make it a drive up in the traffic, me and MLB Now, and I listen to it. I have said multiple times on this program, I've also said on the A's Clubhouse show, which is our post-game show, when we play the Astros, we can boo the hell out of them all we want. But Jose Altuve will be a baseball Hall of Famer. There is no doubt in my mind. He's almost at 2,000 hits. He's going to have 3,000 hits. And just correct me if I'm wrong. I believe everybody who has 3,000 hits is in the Hall of Fame except one guy.
That's correct. That I know of.
And that one guy is not in because we know why.
Yeah. But yeah, he's at like 1,946 hits right now. He's going to get to 3,000. Wait a
minute. How many did A-Rod end up with?
Let's look it up on my phone.
Did A-Rod end up getting 3,000? And if he's not in, you know why. So anybody that's not gambling or PEDs, A-Rod had 3. Yeah. So anybody who's not gambling or PEDs, Palmeiro had 3,000 too. That's another one.
Yeah, A-Rod had.
Now that I think about
3,115.
Palmeiro had 3,000, right?
I'm going to look that up. Palmeiro.
So let me switch that. Everybody,
3,020.
So everybody who's got 3,000 hits that is not linked to gambling, Pete Rose or PEDs, A-Rod, Palmeiro. Who else was on that?
Those are the only 2 we said so far.
There's a reason why. Altuve's getting 3,000 hits. He's an MVP, all-star. He's already a 2-time World Series champion. He, I believe, is almost, and this is skewed because guys play in more playoff games than ever before. I believe he's closing in on Manny Ramirez for most dingers in postseason history, right?
Yes, he has 23 in 92 games in the postseason.
And what's Manny at, like 26?
Somewhere around there. I don't know.
Now, that is all because, remember, Manny played not only for the Red Sox in a ton of postseason games, he played in all those postseason games with the Indians.
Yeah.
They weren't the Guardians there. They were the Indians. So you got to play in a lot of postseason, but there's way more postseason games. I mean, clearly, Mickey Mantle was probably, you look at some of those old Yankees, they were in a lot, but they weren't as in many games, and they were efficient as you know what in the postseason. There's been great. My guy, George Brett, was phenomenal in the postseason. Ricky Henderson was dominant in the post. There's certain, but they didn't have all the rounds and all the games, and it wasn't as easy to make the postseason back in the day. So nowadays, easier to get in the postseason. I'm not taking that away from these guys. They're still great, but Altuve could. I mean, I got to think they're going to be in the postseason again this year. I got to think they'll continue to be in the postseason as a bunch of dirtbag. They're a bunch of, here's the way to explain them. They're a bunch of well-run dirtbags. How about that? That's what the Astros are. You got to give them their due, but they're dirtbags. So they're well-run dirtbags.
That's a fair way.
Not Long Beach State dirtbags that I played against.
So they put up a graphic on MLB Now. It said, notable second baseman not in a home run, and they're looking at career WAR. I'll give you the list of the guys. Lou Whitaker, 75.1.
Lou Whitaker, I am surprised that we now look at players and we go back and say, did we get it wrong? Because you're talking about probably the best double play combination of all time with Trammell and Whitaker.
Trammell's in.
And he's in, but he had to have the committee vote him in, not the writers. Right or wrong, I mean, Al Trammell was a great player. Lou Whitaker, I believe they have multiple records as a double play duo. And you look at his power. You said he's a 74 WAR and he's not in the Hall of Fame. And you got guys who are under 70 who are in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, Lou Whitaker's 75.1.
That we have said, we have agreed. You forced me as the producer of the show to say that Zach Greinke is in because of a 70 WAR. True or false?
True, but it's also true that he is a Hall of Famer.
Now, pitching is obviously different than hitter's WAR, whatever. Pitching WAR is, but whatever. 70 you're in.
Greinke, a great athlete, great hitter also.
We have basically said you got 70, you're in.
Yeah, I think that's fair. I mean, we used to put it at 60, but I think we upped it to 70. You're a lock for the Hall of Fame. Well,
Lou Whitaker's 75.
Yeah, 75. Bobby Grich is on here at 71.1.
Ooh, the Angel/Oriole Bobby Grich.
Then you got
what years? Because to me, Bobby Grich was an Angel, a California Angel, but I know he was an Oriole too.
Let me look. It's easier to do with a computer than like.
So for you young kids, you have no idea who we're even talking about.
Bobby Grich played.
He was a California Angel for me.
He played with Baltimore from 1970 to 1976, and then the Angels and the rest of his career through 1986.
Yes. See, so for me growing up, he was an Angel.
So he ended up.
You want awful for me too with Reggie Jackson.
Is it an Angel or an Oriole?
Give me how many years Reggie was a California Angel, and remember how old I am. This is like my teenage years. Reggie was in a movie, The Naked Gun, as an Angel.
Reggie was an Angel for 5
years.
He was there from 1982 to 1986.
10, 11, 12, 13.
He was a 3-time All-Star as an Angel.
When I'm 10 years old till I was 13 years old, Reggie Jackson was a star. He was an older star. He was an Angel. So like when I was a real little kid, Reggie was a Yankee. But when I was like becoming a teenager, would you say 4 years or 5 years?
5.
5. So 14 in there. I remember Reggie as an Angel. I hate to say it. Like what year did he leave the A's? I was what, 4 years old?
His last year with
76?
the A's. Last year with the A's before he was sent to Baltimore was 1975.
I was 3 years old. I don't remember Reggie as an A.
Or do you remember him leaving when he was 41 in 1987?
No,
he was done playing.
Reggie Jackson to me was an Angel when I was a little kid.
So here's the other second baseman.
Rod Carew was an Angel. He wasn't a twin for me. And you got to think, I'm probably older than a lot of people watching this. Not that I'm all old and you can't tell by but I'm just telling you right now, there's certain players that we talk about and I go, yeah, I don't remember him as. I mean, Reggie Jackson was out of here by the time I was 4 years old. What you say, 75?
75, yeah.
Reggie was out of Oakland by the time I was 3 years old.
I wasn't even. My parents weren't even in high school.
Yeah,
yet.
so you guys said, I remember Reggie as an A. I remember Reggie as an Angel. I kind of remember as a Yankee and then definitely as an Angel.
I don't remember Reggie at all because he was done playing before I was born.
He was way done playing before you were born.
1 year. 87 was the last year.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah. So here's the other guys.
You weren't even around for the Mets in 86.
Nope. I missed out on Strawberry and everyone.
Dwight Gooden.
The first World Series was 88. That would have been the Dodgers.
Dodgers A's.
Yeah. And then obviously next year was Dodgers.
I can tell you where I was, and it's not creepy. I was in my girlfriend's parents' bedroom. Something was going on with like trying on clothes or whatever, watching the World Series. Yes, these guys are looking at me like it wasn't creepy. It was my girlfriend's parents' room, and I watched, couldn't believe Kirk. And you remember how much I love Dak and I hate the Dodgers. I could not believe that. Still, and I'll never forget where I was. You can go with it where you want, but I was in my girlfriend's parents' room watching on their bed, watching the World Series when Gibson went yard. Do you remember where you were? Oh, you weren't. You were 1 year old.
No, I wasn't even born yet. I was born
we could actually do that segment. Where were you when Gibby took Eck yard? Do you remember?
I was born
I was a freshman. No, I was a sophomore in high school.
I was born a few weeks later. Just saying.
You missed out on the best era. By the way, I have it. I don't want to bore you because you guys, you sabermetricians don't care about stolen bases. The 80s, I got some notes on the 80s and stolen bases. Best era of baseball. And you can't tell me it's not. Are you going to say the 80s is not the best era of baseball?
Oh, no. I mean, there's a couple good base stealers. There's that Ricky guy.
Because then you're basically going to say the guy that's named, you look out there, the field's named after Ricky Henderson.
There's numbers up there, too.
Yeah, you heard of Ricky Henderson? Yeah. You going to say when Ricky played, it wasn't the best era of baseball?
There's that
most exciting era?
Vince Coleman was good, too.
There's a lot of guys. Well, of all the 80-plus years, all the years of 80 stolen bases or more, the majority of them are all in the 80s. Best era of baseball. You had power, you had speed, you had athleticism. You had guys that were snorting stuff up their nose that you didn't know about. You had a lot of crazy stuff going on in the 80s.
By the way, Esty Ruiz is still on pace for, I think it's, I haven't,
He drive was 79 yesterday. I checked.
Yeah, I just looked after.
Has it dropped to 78?
78 now, yeah. He's 27 steals.
See, that's the thing. We can't ride that because, like, if he goes out and steals 2 bases tonight, it's like, he's up to 82.
We live and die with it every day.
But, God, we had it in the notes. Who was the last? Jose Reyes of the Mets.
The last guy to steal over 70
something.
Yeah.
It's like 77 or 76. Check that, guys. Jose Reyes. What was his total? He's the last highest guy. He was the last closest guy to 80.
The A's rookie record, I believe, was set in 1978.
It's only like 30-something.
It was set in 1978 with 50.
50, all right.
So he's almost there. They're hard at work. We're putting our crack staff. Again,
Wow.
I should be
we
more.
Can't get Jose Reyes.
I should be more. I should be
take
more.
10 seconds.
I should be more outraged since I'm the leader of this group.
Yeah. Do sort of. Jose Reyes. He played for the Mets. You guys have never heard of him?
They remember him as a Rocky.
Leader of the rock pile.
They remember him as a Marlin.
Rocktober.
78.
78.
Yeah,
He had 78. So he's the last guy.
He was 24 years old when he did it too. Same age as Esty.
He's the last guy. Who's the last guy to steal 80?
Oh,
How far back you got to go to have a guy steal 80 bases?
probably Ricky or Vince Coleman.
Dude, Ricky hasn't played in a long time. I mean, you're going back a long way. There's been nobody who stole 80 bases.
I mean, it's just a single.
Nobody.
Let me pull it up. I'm not logged into StatHead like I'm on my actual computer, so it's going to be a little harder to find it quickly.
Let them figure it out. But we're now going to head into that era, hopefully, of athleticism, and now we're going to really start valuing that going forward.
It looks like Ricky.
Clearly, the A's are valuing athleticism and speed these days. You can see the guys that they're picking up and they're trading for, and we'll see in the draft. The great Eric Davis.
Eric the Red.
Eric the Red is the last guy to steal 80.
When did he do that? What year did he do that?
That's unbelievable. 86? 1986 is the last time we saw a guy steal 80 bags.
Let me give you the numbers in 86.
So if Ruiz steals 80 bags, not only does it break the American League rookie record of Kenny Lofton of 66. I don't remember what year that is.
92.
Out of
Arizona.
Point guard out of Arizona.
They snuck into the tournament this year. Baseball.
No, I was about to say, wait, Kenny Lofton in the tournament? How do you remember that? What year was that? What year was Kenny Lofton?
In the early 90s, I would have not been watching college basketball at 3 or 4 years old.
I don't remember Kenny Lofton as a player.
There were a lot of guys in 1980.
Kenny Lofton, by the way, is a sneaky guy. If we really looked at it, we could make a case potentially for the Hall of Fame. Kenny Lofton was a terrific player.
Yeah, he's a great defender, good hitter.
Yeah, he was legit everything.
You remember him as an Indian. I remember when he played.
I remember as an Indian.
I remember his 1 year playing in Pittsburgh as a Pirate.
Kenny Lofton played for
2003. He was a Pittsburgh Pirate.
You know what? Poor knowledge on me. I do not remember Kenny Lofton, the Bucko. The Jolly Roger.
4 guys in 1986 stole over 70 bases. Tim Raines.
Great.
Eric the Red had 80.
Eric the Red was dope.
Ricky had 87. And that Vince Coleman fella had 107.
Vince Coleman was incredible. Eric Davis was the first guy that legitimately you looked at skill set and started comparing to Willie Mays. Right-handed hitter, center field. That's really not fair to be compared to Willie Mays because Willie Mays is, if you're going to have a Mount Rushmore, as they like to say, of Major League Baseball greats, Willie Mays is going to be on there. So to be compared to, because everybody kept wanting to be the next, he's the next Mays, he's the next Ruth, he's the next Williams, Ted Williams. Eric Davis was like the legit guy that you can honestly say speed, power, throw, 5-tool guys. But you talked to, when I've talked to Bip Roberts about this, playing at Riverfront or Three Rivers,
great ballpark,
or Veteran Stadium, those places were dumps. It would basically so they were all built in this era so they could be football and baseball, right? Which is understandable. You want to have a facility where you could have both play. But they basically just put AstroTurf on top of concrete. And you had these players go out and play on that, and it destroyed their legs. It was bad for your feet, your ankles, your knees, your hips, everything. Sad that we had those guys, great athletes playing on that. Eric Davis, obviously Eric Davis. A's fans remember Eric the Red. He got hurt in the 1990 World Series.
The reason why
I think took Stu deep in game 1, didn't he?
Yes, the reason why I'm not sitting there because I want to go give you Lofton's numbers real quick.
Kenny Lofton.
68.4 career WAR.
I mean, we're right at the 70 mark.
2,428 hits.
All right.
130 career home runs, but who cares? He wasn't known as a power
leadoff
guy. 299 batting average. He stole 622 bags. He scored over 1,500 runs.
Wow.
And he had an OPS plus of 107.
That's a lot of runs scored.
6-time All-Star, 4-time Gold Glove winner.
It's a lot of runs scored.
Rawlings Gold Glove. Ray Fosse would always correct us. A Rawlings Gold Glove.
That's correct. God bless you, Ray Fosse.
And in 2003, he played in 84 games with the Pirates before getting traded to the Cubs.
Only you could bring this discussion back to the Pirates. Nobody cares.
We mean the A's are playing him next week.
You could make a legit case that he could be a Hall of Famer. By the way, the other day, our radio crew, better known as Ken and Vince, were kicking around, early American League MVP. Out of nowhere, here's this guy in New York. He wasn't in the discussion. I think that big kid in New York's back in the discussion. Do you realize that his numbers, the first 45 games, are basically identical to last year?
Yeah, and he missed 10 games with an injury this year.
He is incredible.
Yeah.
Everybody, I have this thing that, and maybe I can float. How much time we got? I can float. We're not going to be able to do it today.
You're talking about Gleyber Torres, right?
Huh?
You're talking about Gleyber Day?
Gleyber, no. I want everybody out there. When is our net? Friday? This might be for Friday.
That's a you and Ray Jensen special.
This might be Friday. When I say $500 million for a player, $500 million, $500 million. How do you see the player? Now, I don't want you to say it's so and so. What kind of characteristic? If you're building a superhero, right? What kind of superpowers do you want? Well, I want to be able to fly. I want to be super strong. I want to be able to have X-ray vision. I want to be like Superman.
I would say you want to be super,
right? But I want to have like a Batman belt.
Well, I threw out what Batman's superpower was, and he's incredibly rich.
He was only a millionaire. Millionaire Bruce Wayne is not that impressive. I'd like to have a Wonder Woman invisible jet.
Yes.
Like there's some traits that if you were a superhero,
Thor's hammer,
you would like to have. There you go. So that is what I'm talking about. What kind of, when you see, I'm going to give a guy $500 million. What are the traits that he has to have? I'm telling you right now, I've polled 5 people. I've gotten answers. And one of the things that I don't see from baseball people, and this is something they don't think about it, and it's not their fault, they're not business people. The first trait I think is I got to sell this guy. $5 billion. I mean, we're $500 million. I'm giving a guy $500 million. I better be able to. What's my ROI? My return on investment. So I want everybody to take the next couple days because tomorrow we have a day game. Thursday we have the day off. I'm going to do this on Friday, but I'm giving everybody a heads up now, and maybe we can put it out there on Twitter at AthleticsCast24. What are the traits you want to have of a guy you're going to give $500 million to, right? What does he have to do for you? And what does he have to do for a lot? What's he got to do for you performance-wise? What kind of player is he? What kind of teammate is he? How can I make money off it? There's a lot that is going into this because it's an interesting question because there's certain players that are going to be looking to cash in some big-time money. There's 2 players. Names are, I'll tell you, Juan Soto and Shohei Ohtani are two guys that are out there that people are talking about. But what would you have to do to feel good? What would the player have to, I'm not going to say look like, what are the traits? Because I'm telling you right now, I think a great question, right? Because people be like, Juan Soto. If I'm taking an all-around young player right now, am I taking Ronald Acuna Jr. over Juan Soto?
I think that's a pretty fair, pretty safe bet. I would take him.
Wait a minute. Juan Soto turned down $440 million. And you're telling me you'd take Acuna over him?
How much money he's making?
we made 100 something.
It was I think it was 8 for 120 when he signed it.
Yeah.
8 for 120. The kid's what 20? What
He
is
never
he?
has to
25?
work again. He's fine.
Yeah, and he's having a tremendous year coming back from a horrible knee injury.
I mean, he's clearly heads and shoulders better than Juan Soto.
Oh, don't tell people at the network that.
Well, they're
but
wrong.
I agree with you. It's yeah. I'd rather.
That's right. Someone was saying, "Oh, the OPS plus with him and Freddie Freeman's the same." Freddie Freeman, by far, is having a way more impactful year.
I'll take.
That's where some analytics can lie to you.
I'll take Freddie Freeman.
Oh my God! How would you not take Freddie? Freddie Freeman might be your front runner for MVP.
He has.
We're only the third of the way in.
He has what we call BOW, body of work.
Does it all.
Yeah, I look. Freddie.
Juan Soto walks.
He's hitting a little better now. Give him credit. He's getting better. Average up to like 260.
But they're showing
that's not Ted Williams. But
your Z percentage, your Z swing, that's swinging inside the strike zone.
Yeah,
he's swinging less than ever before. The name the nickname got brought up today, and a nickname I've always loved, and it was a slam against us. He is the king of lawyer ball. Lawyer ball. Where you're going to fight about every single strike. It's this bit, this much, this much right here. You're fighting over it. And it's sometimes like, hey, man, go a-hacking. Juan Soto is just a better version of Jack Cust. Ooh. Do I have to bring up defensive metrics?
Oh, he's
Juan Soto sucks defensively. You want me to bring up base running? He sucks. He's 24 and he's a terrible athlete.
He's a liability in the outfield, and yes, he can't run.
Can't run.
Remember
can't throw, can't run, can't field.
But what can he do?
Get on base.
The one thing
but they've always said what happens if you're around. You know, that's the one thing that's always so interesting. When people make the excuse of, well, if he was in a different lineup.
Have you seen the Padres lineup?
I've seen the names and the money.
Oh, by the way, did you see who they just claimed off waivers? The Sanchino.
Oh, the Sanchino. And no, we're not claiming the Sanchino. And no, the A's do not claim Luke Voigt, even though he'd be a great wrestler. I'd love him in the WWE. Is it still WWE?
Yeah, it's still WWE.
I would but I do not want nobody older. Nobody older. Your guy Vince Cotroneo tried to give me crap about me talking about younger guys today. And if anybody right now is riding up the elevator here at the Coliseum, I stand by what I say. I don't want older. Where's that gotten you? Oh, I know, 11-45. You like that record?
That's not good.
You want to add more 30-year-olds?
No, I went back and looked month by month. A's were very good in March, 1-0. Then in April, May, they won 5 games each month. Obviously, they have 11 wins, so that can't. I just don't. I feel like that's gonna even out. There's no way you win 5 games a month the rest of the baseball season.
No way.
Yeah, exactly.
I mean, like the 5 of us down here put us in uniform, we'd win. I mean, right?
A lot of averages.
I mean, seriously. But yesterday, it was a treat. We didn't get a lot of time. We're gonna have to have him on again. Lucas Ursig.
Yeah.
We had him on Friday, right? From
Friday
the
in
Treehouse.
yeah.
What a special day for him and his family yesterday.
Oh, for sure. That was awesome.
I mean,
3 scoreless.
You can go up into the clubhouse right now and tell him that his win doesn't matter because wins don't matter for pitchers. You can go up to his family in the stands and tell him that wins don't matter for pitchers. Whenever you want, you can go up there with your bravado and tell him that wins don't matter. But to him, getting his first win, even though he's a reliever, and I think pitching 3 innings, not giving up a home run, not walking anybody, knowing his battle, and being sober, and as he said, putting the bottle down, has changed his life for the better, for his relationships, being a father, being everything that he is now. His life has changed on and off the field, and knowing his backstory and knowing that he's a kid from the Bay Area, grew up in the South Bay, down in Campbell, and to watch that yesterday really was a beautiful thing. And to have the win on top of that was something awesome.
Yeah, and it's crazy to think that he put on the bottle when he mentioned that. It was in 2020 when everyone started drinking more because of COVID and the shutdown.
We all did.
He stopped. He stopped, and that's more credit to him. He's a great story, and we will definitely get him on again. It was kind of rushed last week, and it happens the first game of the series. But yeah, we'll get him on again. Great. It was a great story. He looked good yesterday. I mean, that fastball plays. I mean, I know velocity, everyone's throwing hard now, but for a guy that was a former infielder to be throwing that hard.
And how many innings?
3.
3.
Not 2/3 or.
You don't think Mark Kotze was hunting a win yesterday?
So is it safe
then
to say he's unavailable today? Or?
And then, I don't think he's going to be. I don't know. Get him up. Can he pitch? Let's go. And then also Paul Blackburn, another Bay Area guy. They had Blackburn yesterday, and you kind of sense it too. And we had David Forst here earlier today. I think it meant a lot for a lot of people to have Blackburn back. I mean, some type of stability for the pitching staff. You need somebody. I know it was only 4 innings, but you saw the 6 strikeouts. This is a very good Atlanta lineup. And, they're still, even though they've had some struggles lately, they've been terrible at home, by the way. I mean, they're like 5. They're 15, and I don't have my scorebook in front of me. I think they're 15 and 14 at home. They've been great on the road. They're the best team in baseball on the road, but they've been they've been average at home. But still, for him to go out and take on them in the very first game and do the way he did, the 6 strikeouts, it was big.
Yeah, it's great to have him back. You have that, the guy that was, for how good he was the first half of last year, being an all-star, now with the finger, the battling the finger, which is so bizarre to say you're battling a finger, but good to have him back.
You've sliced it, you've had blisters, and you've had a nail issue.
Yeah, it's the trifecta.
I mean, it's unbelievable.
So hopefully, he pitches well going forward. We got JP Sears tonight. Let's see if he gets past the 5th inning or not.
Oh, JP Sears. Funny you asked about JP Sears, right?
Yeah.
JP Sears has a 3.25 ERA in 5 May starts.
It's pretty good.
That is really, I mean, when you think about the struggles of the pitching, JP Sears has really, I mean, if there's any of the young pitchers who have established themselves, Muller's in AAA, Waldachuk kind of all over the board with Waldachuk now, right? Especially since he was brought in as an opener. Medina has an electric arm. Here's a question I have about Medina. Are you worried about him giving up home runs when all everybody does is hit home runs?
I hate to bring it back to something we talked about last week on the show, but we talked about how Verlander being like Verlander. Verlander gets up a lot of home runs. Well, Verlander's very good.
Okay, well, doesn't everybody hit home runs?
Yes.
Well, if everybody hits home runs, somebody had to give those home runs up, right? So it's kind of like if I take you to another sport, if you set the offense and the rules up so that offense, it's going to be easier to throw the ball and score touchdowns. If a cornerback gives up touchdowns, are you going to say that he's not a good cover corner when the rules are set up against him? You can still be a good corner and give up some touchdowns. So that's what I'm trying to get out here is like, all right, I cover Steph Curry, still scores 35, but I mean, I play good D. It's just set up, he's shooting threes.
Yeah.
And he makes a lot of them. Doesn't mean I didn't play good D. So that's my whole thing now. I'm starting to wonder, like, am I being too critical of a pitcher when I say, well, he gives up a lot of home runs? And then you look at, well, we have record home runs every year. If guys are hitting them, somebody had to be giving them up. So even the best pitchers give up home runs.
I found out from our crack staff earlier that he's allowed 12 home runs, which isn't it's on the leaderboard, but I think he's like 6th. But 12 home runs or 25% of the hits he's allowed this year have been home runs. That's from the crack staff earlier today.
But are we not going to say what we have seen is an electric arm?
Oh no, I'm sorry. I was talking about Sears. That's my fault. I went back to Sears. No, I'm with you about Medina. I don't give up as you said, if people are hitting home runs, someone's giving them up. And I think his velocity in his
every
arm,
day I go and I check the staff, the starters, the bullpen. I write it down. And you look, as bad as, remember how bad we were like leading all the categories? Mm-hmm. Teams are starting to catch up.
Yeah.
Even though we're 30th out of 30 in a lot of things, but teams are starting to catch up. They're starting to catch up in walks, home runs given up. We're starting to, it's like teams are starting to get to us. So there's plenty of people out there giving up a lot of home runs.
I think we're safe, though. We're on pace to give up 281 home runs, and the Orioles allowed 305. So I think we're going to be good not giving up the most home runs.
Ever.
And that was, remember how bad the Orioles were a few years ago?
Was that 19?
Yeah.
That was the juice ball year. It's like when everybody thought Matt Chapman was going to hit 35-plus home runs every year.
Yeah. And
certain guys were going to hit.
He's kind of fallen off since May started.
Well, our crack staff have the stat that really is amazing to me. Since Brent Rooker went on MLB Network
and played with the telestrator,
and Mark DeRosa on MLB Central, that's their morning show, and they did the whole thing. Everybody loved it. Rooker's hitting a $190 since that performance.
It's not good. It's below the Mendoza line, as they say.
That's tough.
He's not in the lineup today.
That's tough.
Real quick, though, but Sears, though. JP Sears has a 2.86 ERA at home this year. It's more positive.
Well, if there's been one young pitcher who has established himself as somebody you go, you know what? He's sticking in this rotation. I'm going to keep pitching him. It's JP Sears.
Oh,
he is giving you no because Muller already gone. Waldachuk, Waldachuk's all over the place. Medina, Electric Arm, you don't know. I mean, Mason Miller, I don't even know if we'll see him again this season.
Yeah, I hope we do. But yeah, that's
the other day on MLB Sirius. It's so funny how people, they're not watching. So I'm listening on the way home. I should get a life, but I'm listening on the way home from the ballpark to MLB radio on Sirius XM, and they got a guy on there who is their no one knows the minor leagues like him. He covers prospects like nobody else, and he was asked about the three Millers and how would he rate his three Millers. So you got Bryce Miller in Seattle, Bobby Miller
in LA,
in Dodgers, and then our Mason Miller. And this guy starts kicking it around, and because Bryce Miller out of Texas A&M was considered good, right? But he was never anybody's top prospect, right? So but right now, he looks like hell on wheels, right? And then, this is how it was explained. And I went, this is such mumbo jumbo. I like the ceiling of Mason Miller, but I think I'll take the floor of Bobby Miller. I wanted to call you. What does that mean?
I think he likes the upside that Mason Miller brings, but he's not healthy. But he likes where the floor is right now, Bobby Miller.
No, he likes it was at the future. He likes the future of his floor.
I think he likes where Miller is right now. Yeah, he thinks he's going to be consistent.
And I want to say, can I call? Hey, you guys know that Mason Miller's out, and we don't know when he's going to pitch again.
Yeah.
You guys might want to do a little research before you do this segment.
Yeah, that's it's bad producing.
Oh, it's like, you guys, you like Mason Miller's stuff, huh? Yeah, I don't know if it's going to play.
By the way, Bobby Miller pitched well again yesterday, too, for the Dodgers.
Another guy?
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Well, another guy that came through the Dodgers system where they don't pitch deep in the games, but yet, wait for it, he's pitching deep in the game somehow. Funny how that works. And the Angels, you asked David Forst about will we ever see a guy come up from Double-A? In the last 5 days, the Angels have called up 2 guys from Double-A.
Yeah, when's the last time we called up a guy from Double-A to the big leagues?
I mean, the 2 guys they called up are relievers, their top pick from 2021, and Ben Joyce that does 105. But
the kid from Tennessee.
Tennessee, yeah, they called him up.
Tennessee Volunteers, by the way.
He debuted last night, and I know we got to get to your good friend.
Hey, that's what I love. David Forst talked about it. Starts Friday, and we're gonna have Brad Sanfilippo, head coach of San Jose State, on. We've had him on the show before. If you're longtime loyal listeners, he used to coach at Cal with David Esker. David Esker, who was the coach at Cal when Marcus Simeon and Mark Canna were there. David Esker is now the head coach at Stanford. Brad is taking on Stanford. So you want to talk about how interesting this is, and we're going to talk about it with Brad. So David Esker was the head coach at Cal. Brad Sanfilippo coached for him at Cal. Esker went back to his alma mater, Stanford, and Brad's coaching San Jose State, and now we're going to battle 2 o'clock on Friday. But we've had them both on multiple. We had David Esker on multiple times. Yeah. We'll have to have him on during these these originals. He said to me, by the way, David Esker, as I somehow have become the host.
College Baseball Insider.
No, I've been the master of ceremonies for the big Santa Clara County baseball banquet that's been happening for like 40-something years, where everybody gets honored. They used to get guys like John Miller, Lon Simmons, Ken Korak, guys like that. Now they have me doing it. And David Esker, and it's a lot, most of it is big leagues. We've got a lot of big league stuff, right? They honored Mitch Haniger, Jock Peterson this year. Who was our guy with the Rangers?
Donnie Ecker.
Donnie Ecker, Rangers offensive coordinator, was honored. And then, of course, you got the colleges, the high school kids, because there's a lot of baseball. Obviously, Santa Clara County, our biggest county in the Bay Area. And David Esker, the head coach of Stanford, I did my interview with him there in front of everybody, and he said, watch out for San Jose State. And do you know why he said, watch out for – this banquet was when? February, March, something like that?
Was it then? I thought it might – yeah, it sounds about right.
So San Jose State and Stanford had played a lot in the fall.
Mm-hmm.
So David Esker said, watch out. San Jose State's got good players. Well, it's regional time. And as David Forst said, the scouts go out and watch the regionals. They want to see, if I'm going to draft you in the first round, second round, third round, how do you compete the pressure? This is it's 2-game elimination, but this is the bright lights. College baseball, this is when college baseball shines. You're on national television, right? You got all these games on ESPN. Next thing you know, you're going to go to the Super Bowl regionals after this. Then you're playing on the mothership, the actual ESPN main channel for the College World Series, which gets huge viewership. They want to see, as David just said, they want to see how high school guys perform in showcases.
Mm-hmm.
They want to see how college players perform when you're talking about your conference tournaments, which just happened, and San Jose State won the Mountain West. Does Stanford win the Pac-12?
I want to say yes, but I'm not sure.
Why do these kids just sit here and look at us do the show and not sit there all day long? And Dan Patrick's show, their guys are looking up stuff all day long. And then their answer is going to be, well, you're not Dan Patrick. And I'm going to be like, that's a good point.
I'm looking it up right now.
So I have a great question for you Pac-12 honks. Two of the biggest.
Wow, no, Oregon beat Arizona.
So, but Stanford's still hosting a regional.
Yes.
So when I think of Pac-12 honks, I think of the great Alan Bernstein, Roxy Bernstein, our A's historian David Feldman, who works for the Pac-12 Network. I have a new name. I don't know. I want to run this by you before I fully go public with it. They're known as the Conference of Champions, correct? The Pac-12?
Yes.
Or should they now be the Conference of Deserters?
It's trending that way. We had a long conversation with our good friend Ryan Stanek about it.
I mean, if you think USC and UCLA are the only teams that are going to leave the pack.
You're not back in the pack?
I mean, I'm hearing some things. Colorado's going, yeah, hey, Big 12. Remember we were all in the Big 8 together. Remember?
Coach Prime, baby.
You think Utah doesn't want out? What's Utah and Colorado going to do in the Pac-12 now that USC? I mean, if you're Oregon, you want to stick around here, Oregon? Washington, you got, you got a lot of juice. You're in a big market. You're Washington. You control the Pacific Northwest. You think Washington wants to stick around and hang out?
Yeah. Oregon State's getting better at football.
Oregon State smells like a Mountain West team to me. So does Washington State.
Yeah. Or that'd be a great addition for Oregon State or for the Mountain West for baseball.
But Mountain West, San Jose State is your champs. And being a former San Jose State baseball player, I played in the Big West. We went from the Big West to the WAC to the Mountain West. It's a big deal. It means a lot to me. And Brad is a Bay Area guy, and he's done a great job. It's been some tough circumstances with different facilities and changing facilities. And the fact that he's got San Jose State back in the regionals. Remember, you're in the regionals. You win, and you keep winning, you're going to have a chance to play for the national title. That's what it's all about. Here's my conversation with Coach Flip earlier today. Brad, I can't tell you how proud I am of you, of your players, of our program, San Jose State, the university, for you to do what you've done, the turnaround of the program and so many obstacles in front of you, and you've gotten it done, to be the Mountain West champs, to be in the regional, playing at Stanford on Friday. Just tell me what it's like to be the head coach of these young men.
I could not be more proud of a group, of a team, in terms of some of the difficulties and challenges that we've faced over the last couple of years. Obviously, most notably, COVID in Santa Clara County was not too kind to anybody, but obviously trying to prepare for a baseball season was rather difficult. But for these guys to stay committed and loyal to this program, you as an alum would be so proud of this group and their commitment to not only each other, but to this university, and the fact that they put their belief in this coaching staff that this was a possibility. And not only was this a possibility, but like in the day and age of the transfer portal, there were challenges that we faced, and they could have left, but they stayed committed to this program. And I'm so proud that this group was able to celebrate like we did the last couple of weekends, for the regular season championship and then for the Mountain West championship, that they've realized this level of success together. I will never experience that level of pride other than, watching your kids do stuff. I guess it's a little similar, you kind of feel like this is your family, and watching them, do something cool. Like, it just gives you a little sense of pride.
We've had you on the A's pregame show before. We've talked about your affiliation with Cal and how you coach guys like Marcus Simeon and Mark Canna with David Esker when he was the head coach at Cal. And Esky, of course, the Stanford coach who you're going against, we've had on this program. You know each other well. But before we get into all of that, for you, as you mentioned, because a lot of people, we forget how rough the COVID season was, just not the big league level, but how tough it was at the college level, the minor league level. So many guys lost a year of their career. To go through all of that, to go through the fact you don't have the facilities and you're in transition, let's just call it what it is, and then the schools you're going up against, they don't have the same problems. When you got Coach of the Year, everything that you've been through in your career, what did it mean to you?
Yeah, I mean, and again, some of the things that have happened the last couple of weeks have been pretty surreal. And it's this, and at places like this, I mean, mid-majors where you probably don't have as many resources as, we went to Texas a couple of weeks ago, and that was a pretty cool experience just to see the commitment level. And obviously we'll play at Stanford, and that's, an unbelievable facility and things like that. But when you go into something like this and you inherently know what the challenges are, it takes your coaching staff and a belief in yourself that, this is possible. You surround yourself with the right people in terms of our coaches, and we've done that. And I've been lucky enough to be surrounded by, phenomenal players and coaches here. And so, to be recognized as Coach of the Year is obviously, I think it's a testament to my wife and my kids, and, allowing that, sanity and the job beats you up quite a bit. And when we've had that, but it's recognition for my coaching staff and these players and all that they've done. And yeah, I get that my name is Coach of the Year, but it's just that everyone has believed in the people that are here. And I think that's the most important thing.
It wasn't that long ago we had our Santa Clara County baseball banquet that's been going on for many, many years that basically shows the love for Santa Clara County and all the greatness in baseball, from the A's being there, the Giants being there, all the people that were honored that day, Jock Peterson, Mitch Haniger. We're talking about big leaguers, but we also honor high school kids, and we talk about the colleges. And you get up there, the head coach of Santa Clara, head coach of Stanford, of course, David Esker is the head coach of Stanford. And he said to me, hey, watch out. Brad's got a really good team down there. And I remember telling you that at the banquet, and you're like, he's blowing smoke at me. But it was David Esker, the guy you're going up against, the guy that you know so well, he means so much to you in your career. He was the one that said at the banquet before you guys kicked it off, watch out for San Jose State. He was the one who saw this coming.
Yeah, we played Stanford in the fall, and we've been quite familiar with each other the last couple of years, and he's seen our group kind of mature. And hey, leave it to Esky to know a team that's pretty offensive. His club is ridiculously offensive, and it's been the goal of ours here. The conference that we play in, the Mountain West, you got to go to Albuquerque, and you got to go to Reno, and Fresno's offensive, and Air Force is like playing baseball on the moon. So we knew that we had to, not only do you have to be able to win at home at Muni, but you got to go on the road and you got to be physical. You got to be to hit homers and doubles and keep up in a double-digit game, that'll break out in the Mountain West. So, I think Esky realized that we had become rather physical in the last couple of years. The funny thing is we hit 67 homers, which was a San Jose State record last year, and we still finished like 5th in the Mountain West. So it just tells you, again, how offensive this conference is. But, I think we're playing at Stanford, and I'm playing against Esky, and I got off the phone with him about a half hour ago. It's just the baseball gods, I guess, are intending this to be true, that we've got to go against them at their place. And, I think it will be cool. But, I mean, even on their staff, Andre Mercurio, former Spartan, who not only played for me when I was an assistant here, but coached for me here, and then went up the road to coach there. So there's quite a few ties, and it's but I'll take Esky in terms of him recognizing that we had a pretty good club when we played him in the fall.
I look, the selection show came out, ESPN2, and you start looking at where all these regions are, and I'm looking at the map right now. I can't show it to everybody, but the closest regional host to the West Coast is Oklahoma State in Stillwater, Oklahoma. Everything is in the Southeast. I mean, everything. You're looking at LSU, Alabama, Arkansas, Clemson, Wake Forest, Miami, Florida. So I look at all Auburn. I mean, all the Kentucky. I mean, obviously, we know where the big dollars are these days in the SEC. Just talk about how I know people first came out and said, wow, man, you got Fullerton, you've got Texas A&M. But when you look at a draw of the best place you could have gone, I mean, you're right up 280. Could you have a better venue for your ball club?
There's familiarity there for sure. As luck or fate would have it, we played San Diego State at Stanford a couple weeks ago because we had a little weather conflict earlier in the year, and we had to move a series against San Diego State. And in doing so, we didn't have access to Excite Ballpark. But so we had to find another venue. We played at Cal on Friday and Sunday, and we played a doubleheader at Stanford on Saturday. So we're familiar with Sunken Diamond. We are obviously familiar with their coaching staff and Esky, and their pitching coach, Coach Eager, and I are very good friends. And, Andre, being a lot of connections there. So, there's not a whole lot of secrets. Texas A&M, Coach Schlossnagel has been unbelievable in the track record with Coach Yeski there. They're past both at TCU and Oregon State and now at A&M. And obviously what Coach Dietrich has, restarted and rebuilt now here at Fullerton just in a short time, his 2 years, getting them back into a regional. So wherever you're playing at this time of year, you're going to play quality teams. We feel very grateful for an opportunity to continue to play baseball together. Getting on a plane to go to SEC country was something that I know this group would have been fine with, but 20-minute bus ride to Sunken Diamond, stay at a hotel in Redwood City, I think we'll be okay.
Well, I can tell you there's a bunch of us. We've all been on these text threads talking about just how proud we are of you guys and how much fun this ride has been. So it's not over. It starts on Friday. Records don't matter. What your conference doesn't matter. Where you're from, where you're recruited, whether you got drafted out of high school, like all the things that we look at where we talk about all the stuff about all these programs. None of that matters starting on Friday against Stanford. Was it first pitch is 2:00?
2:00. 2:00 start on Friday.
Yeah, we will give out the ticket information for everybody, but just to let people know, you and I met years and years ago when you were a very young man at Mesa Junior College and we were playing in a Major League Baseball wood bat league. Who would have ever thought years from now I would be here, you would be there, and I think this year is so big for your career and what it's going to do for you long term. Once again, we all former San Jose State baseball players are so proud of you and your guys and what you've done. But as much as I want to gush about you, it hasn't ended. It just started. The starting gate you're lining up right now. Good luck and go get them on Friday. We'll all be behind you.
I did tell our guys, Townie, that the text that I am receiving from alum and all of the people that have played before this team here, we're representing them and they're holding us up. So I know our guys feel the support and we appreciate it. I appreciate you giving me this little forum to brag about our guys a little bit. And I'm proud of this program. I'm proud that we can represent you guys in a way that makes you guys proud. And you should be proud of this team. This is a quality group. So I appreciate it.
You're going to keep winning, and we're going to keep doing these. That's the great thing.
I love it.
All right, go get them on Friday.
All right. Thanks, Town. Appreciate you.
Bring on Stanford. Let's go. I'm not afraid of Stanford.
No, you never have been. Actually, you never have been.
I took them out myself when they were number 2 in the country.
Yeah, you're not scared of them.
Not afraid.
Let me ask you this.
By the way,
yeah.
Happy birthday.
Thanks, buddy.
Today's his birthday.
It's true.
Hey, turn me up a little bit.
It's true.
Or do I have different headphones? Oh, you turn me. There we go.
Hey, how fired up are you?
No. Happy birthday. Today is your special. As my mother always said, today is your special day. Yeah. What happened today? Anything good? Just a breakfast or
just a great day. A little
family give you anything? Any presents?
Not yet. It's gonna be delayed because I'm not gonna see them for a little bit. But yeah,
okay.
they say they have some things coming. So
today is your day. It's happy birthday.
I appreciate it. But can we shift to San Jose
If I would
State?
have known, I would have brought something for you.
Just flapping with you is good enough. So tell me about how excited are you at San Jose State? I just want to hear about it.
I tell you, the threads of all the old guys and texting, it's been electric. A bunch of people are getting together to go to the games on Friday, and I'm about to actually take my first time off, so it's like I can't take any time off. Delaire would kill me. But I'm very excited. Going to watch on TV. Our buddy Roxy Bernstein is going to be on the call, but it's huge for the program. You know, when San Jose State went to the College World Series years ago, and to see my alma mater play for the national championship on ESPN, it was special. And that's how you build programs. And know it. These young men, this opportunity in their life, they will go on. They'll whatever they're going to do. As you know, you get married, you have kids. But you never forget this time and these players. And when you accomplish this at this point in your life, these guys become like brothers. And we talked always about the 72, 73, 74 teams, how they're like brothers. Well, yeah, in college baseball, you travel really for the first time around the country together. You go to school together. You screw up together. You grow together. These are times in your life you never forget and bonds that can never be broken. I'm so happy for these kids and what they battled through and the fact that they came up so big. It's huge. You're going to play at Stanford, and you got Texas A&M there, Cal State Fullerton, who was, where Mark Kotze's from.
Right, yeah.
Who I played against Kotze, right?
Yeah.
So we're talking about national championships and everything. They had been down. They're back up. It's a very good region, Texas A&M, coming to the Bay Area, really good school. And as David Forst said, when they're looking at, who they want to draft, they want to see how these guys perform in the regionals, super regionals, and College World Series, how you perform under the bright lights.
They're looking at that. Now, obviously can't be satisfied with just getting there. You want to do some damage, right?
No doubt.
Yeah.
You don't want to go 2 in a queue, as they say.
Right.
2 in a barbecue.
Yeah.
You want a chance. And, San Jose State has done well at Stanford. They've played Stanford a lot. They played in the fall. A lot of bad weather. Esker, who's the head coach of Stanford, who comes on this program, and Coach Flip, they'd known each other from their time at Cal, so they had a couple scrimmages. So these two teams know a lot about each other, and as he said, San Jose State had some scheduling conflicts because of weather and the fact that the San Jose Giants are back. We share the same home with San Jose Giants. They just played San Diego State up at Stanford. So this is no stranger for my Spartans up at Stanford Stadium. Going to be interesting.
Did you think at the start of the year, did you say, don't sleep on this team, or did you not even think about it as a possibility? That they
no, we knew they were going to be good.
Oh, really?
And it was David Esker at this event. The head coach of Stanford said, hey, the team to watch in the Bay Area this year is San Jose State. Yeah, they knew they were going to be tough to beat.
All right.
College baseball, baby, doesn't get any better.
That's great, man. I love this time of year. So much fun.
How you feeling about this team, Johnny? We going on a run here?
You know what? trying to win their
Come on,
second
Johnny.
game in a row. Here we go.
Come on. I
Hey.
need you here.
All right. Look, big game.
At some point, they got to win 3 in a row.
I think so. I think they're going to win. I think they
If you were in Vegas right now and if you had to bet a substantial amount of money, you'd have to bet at some point they win 3 in a row.
if I was a betting man, I'm not a big. Obviously, I don't bet on baseball, but I would put money on that. I would.
I didn't ask you to be Pete Rose.
Right, exactly. Peter Edward Rose, no, no, not that guy, no. But you're right. No, they're going to win 3 in a row at some point. Yes, they will. I put money on that. Wouldn't you?
I think the best birthday gift for all of us would be a win and 2 in a row.
Right over the Braves. Come on, let's do this.
Happy birthday!
All right, thanks, buddy.
JD's up next. I'll be
Appreciate
back a little bit with A's Total Access. We want to thank Wash. We want to thank Noda. We want to thank David Forst and Coach Flip for all stopping by A's Cast Live. We'll be back on Friday, 1 o'clock. We'll be back Friday at 1 o'clock, getting you ready for the A's. And the Fish, the Marlins from South Florida, coming up next. These guys right here on A's Cast Live.
This is Chris Townsend. There are 2 things that are a must for me: comfort and style. Whether I'm playing golf, going to dinner, I've got to have the right feel. That's why I've partnered with Linksole, and you're going to love Linksole. They have just released their new spring line, new fabrics for their polos, lightweight and perfect for technical performance. Linksole also has new styles for their layers and hoodies with cool prints and seasonal colors. You know what they say in the big leagues: look good, play good. Go to linksole.com. That's linksole.com.
Chevron with Techron has unbeatable engine cleaning power, and it gives you unbeatable mileage for all kinds of unbeatable destinations, like time in the sun at the beach, or time in the sun riding roller coasters, or a day in the sun hiking mountains. Well, probably just one mountain would be enough for a day, but hiking a mountain is still an unbeatable choice for how to spend time. Download the Chevron app now to get unbeatable mileage at locations near you.
This is Chris Townsend, and if you're looking for a great place to eat and watch games, go see my friends at the Chicken Pie Shop at Walnut Creek. The Chicken Pie Shop is one of the hottest restaurants in Walnut Creek. You're not going to find a better menu, and come try their world-famous chicken pie that has been served in Southern California for 86 years. Spacious indoor and outdoor dining, perfect for your next private party or corporate event. Don't forget free parking. For more information, go to chickenpieshopwc.com. That's chickenpieshopwc.com.
If you're looking for a new mattress, Nest Bedding has you covered. Sleep on the same mattress Hall of Famer Ricky Henderson sleeps on. Nest Bedding is the #1 brand of online mattresses and the Bay Area's favorite mattress store. Take home the Easy Breather pillow. The New York Times calls it their #1 pick. You can navigate their easy-to-use website, nestbedding.com. That's nestbedding.com. Green and Gold fans, use the coupon code Oakland and you get 10% off your entire order. Nest Bedding, love where you sleep.
Streaming from the town, A's Cast Live continues with Chris Townsend.
You know, eventually I will get new liners made where it says you and I or just me, because you know I got to be selfish about it.
Can you turn me up just a smidge
In your headphones?
Yeah.
Okay.
Perfect.
How's that?
Yeah, it's better.
Well, because Tony likes it really loud. I know you like it less decibel level.
Yes.
So I want to make sure everyone's happy on this program.
Thank you. Appreciate it.
Happy birthday, Johnny.
Thank you, buddy.
So
Appreciate it.
39 today, right? That's what I've been told.
Something like that. Yeah.
I mean, I'm getting up there. I'll be 35 in a few months.
I know. Yeah.
So
still a young pup.
So we'll get to the Pittsburgh trip that we're going to be on together in a minute. But JP Sears, what are you looking for tonight?
Well, look, he's pitched well. I mean, in May, his ERA is 3.25, and he's still looking for that first win. He's pitched well enough to win. Remember, he retired 16 out of 17 Astros. He pitched great in Seattle, was taken out 5 innings, 59 pitches, didn't go his third time through. So, look, he's pitched well. So, I think, look, this is his time, and I'm looking for a great outing from him once again.
Yeah, he has a 2.86 ERA at home. That's pretty good.
Yep.
He's the A's best pitcher, and I'll say that it's not close right now. I think he's the best starting pitcher the team has. He has the whole third time through the lineup thing. I disagreed with it, but he does have his batting average allowed after the third time through the lineup or plate appearance is 220.
Right.
I mean, it's not like it's like 320, 310, 280. It's 220. He does have the almost 8 ERA in the 6th inning, but how's he going to get better if we don't let him work through? But I hope to see him pitch better tonight. This is a very good Braves team. We know who's in the lineup.
Yep.
So I'm hoping to see him just build and keep growing, and this team maybe rack up a second consecutive win.
Yeah, the guy you got to try to get out is Ozzy Albies. He's hitting 462 against left-handed pitching.
He's a good little player.
He's unbelievable. So, and look, he was hitting the 7th slot in that first game of the series, which is, man, this guy is a really good player, man. So it's going to be, look, you got your hands full. They're 1-9. They're tough. Arcia hitting over 300. He's in the 8th slot. I mean, they're and you got Kevin Pillar in there today. So the lineup's really good.
The Arcia thing is just wild because he was the Brewers' top guy. Then the Brewers just kind of gave up on him.
Yeah.
Now they got Willie Adames. Now he goes to Atlanta, and you thought, oh, Vaughn Grisham's going to be the guy when Dansby Swanson left.
Right.
And here's Arcia doing well for them. And
he just flat out won the job.
Yeah,
Commander. He just won it.
They developed a lot of guys over the last years. They're not. I mean, we know how good they've been going all the way back to the early '90s. They're not the machine, in my opinion. They're not the machine that the Dodgers and Astros have been developing guys. But I mean, some of the guys they've had that aren't named Ronald Acuna Jr. have been pretty good, and their pitching is. I mean, Bryce Elder leads the National League in ERA.
Right. Oh, yeah, their pitching has been good. And, look, they had 2 guys go down. Kyle Wright and Fried have gone down, and they have guys picking up the slack. And Elder is a really good example, 2.01 ERA. Guy's a young guy, and look, he's been the surprise to a lot of people. But, the numbers don't really look great as far as kind of the inside, the analytics with him.
Yeah.
But you can't argue with 2.01 ERA, right?
No, and Kyle Wright, is he like, he won what, 20? Did he win 21
games?
He won 21 games last year. No one even remembers. It's like a few years ago when Julio Urias won 20 games. No one remembers he won 20 games.
Right.
It's just because how many people devalue, I'm one of them, devalue the pitcher win. But he won 21 games, and the Braves, you wouldn't even know because the Braves are still so good.
They're so good. And so it's going to be interesting to see. I mean, this is a game I think, look, it's a tough lineup, but I'm looking forward to seeing what JP Sears can do. The one thing is, Langoliers knows these guys well.
Yeah.
Langoliers, as a matter of fact, he's really good friends with Elders. That's going to be a very interesting matchup. He knows what he throws. Of course, Elder knows about him. So that's going to be an intriguing matchup to me.
Yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing how they do against Elder because, like I said, he leads the National League in ERA. I want to see Jonah Bride play more. He's in the lineup again today after having the 2 hits last night. Great to see him playing well. Quickly, we're both going to be in Pittsburgh next week. Can't wait.
Yep, looking forward to it.
What's the one thing you're looking forward to
I've just
more?
never been to Pittsburgh. I heard great things about that ballpark. I've heard some great food places. I'm going to pick your brain a little bit too, but I cannot wait to get out there.
I mean, I didn't actually start going out and partying there until I was out of college. I lived a very non-fun life, but now that I've gone back and visited, I've done more things there. I'm sure we can get into some trouble while we're there.
Yeah, I just that ballpark, from what I understand, like you walk across the bridge. I mean, people have sent me videos from walking.
It's great.
Around. It's incredible what it looks like. So
I mean, you got that. You got Point State Park. You got the Duquesne Incline. If you want to take that up, I mean, there's so much to do there. I guess I'm being a homer, but it'll be nice. I'm going to go see my parents for a few days when I get back there.
Yeah, I bet you're excited to see friends and everything. Right?
Yeah, it's good. I mean, I'm not a team. I'm not a broadcaster on the games, but I got this opportunity to travel with the team and,
you deserve it,
meet up with you guys.
You do a great job. You deserve it.
Well, that's going to do it for A's Cast Live. You're on TV today.
Radio today.
Radio today.
Yep,
okay.
Yep.
So you and Ken.
Yep.
Vince and Dallas on television.
Yep.
Okay. All right. Well, Game 2, A's Braves coming up in minutes.
Yeah.
Chris Townsend standing by for A's Total Access. They'll be back on Friday. Chris Townsend, Ray Jensen will be in for me as I will be on the East Coast. They'll have Eno Saris, Mark Kotze, and we're efforting Chad Pinder because he's now retired, and it'll be great to see Chi and catch up with him. So I'm working on that with our great PR staff. So
excellent.
Thanks everyone for listening and watching. Chris Townsend will be up with A's Total Access, brought to you by Chevron in 2 minutes, and we'll see everyone on Friday.
All right.
It's Kids Cheer Free all summer long. Bring your kids ages 14 and younger to the ballpark on Sunday home games for free. After the game, race around the bases with Stomper on the same field that your favorite A's players do. Get your tickets now at athletics.com/kidsfree.
Hey, Billy, this deck is great for getting everyone together. Thanks. We're really enjoying the outdoor space, especially on a day like today. What's the material? Humboldt Redwood from Ashby Lumber. They gave us a great deal,